Hello and welcome to the final NFL regular season week 18.
Yep.
This is Morning Tailgate brought to you by Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Typically we're on Saturday, but we're doing
Sunday.
typically we're doing it on Sunday. Today we're doing Saturday because we got some scheduling conflicts for tomorrow. But we'll replay it at our normal time. So if you're watching this, happy week 18.
Yep.
I'm joined by the working man, Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
Doing good. It's been crazy NFL season. It's getting a little crazier, and playoffs are basically here.
Yeah, and after Mondays, it's we'll talk about that, but it's gotten really crazy since Monday. So, and then below us, halfway across the world, like normal, is Tim Hendricks, the Prime Moose. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Excited for a couple of these play-in games. It's going to be fun. And this year hasn't disappointed, and I don't think this week is going to disappoint either.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think the NFL saw something in their playoff picture last year, and it just rolled right into this season, and hopefully keeps going on. But yeah, this is one of the craziest NFL seasons outside of the pandemic, the COVID year that I can remember. Tim, Chris, I don't know about you guys, but this has just been unpredictable and just weird things have happened. So,
well, except for that one time the Packers had to have something going on and all that.
Like I think there was one game where the Packers had to beat a team by X amount of points to get in the playoffs. Yeah, I'm glad they got rid of all that stuff because that just made it a headache. So let's get into the stories. First, let's get an update as you guys are all seeing up in the top screen there. Pray for DeMar. If you guys been living under a rock, he passed out, fainted, cardiac arrest. I think was finally on the field Monday. The game got postponed at the time, but now it has been officially canceled. Rushed to the hospital, and everything is going well. He's off his breathing tubes. He's FaceTiming his teammates. He's making, arm signals and stuff. A couple days ago, when he woke up, he asked the doctor who won the game.
Yeah.
And the doctor simply replied, "You won the game of life," which I think was a great response. So keep getting better there, DeMar. So, Tim, I'll start with you. What's your thoughts on the whole situation?
I like we talked about on C2C Rankum. It was a fluke injury. I don't think it can be said enough, but the training staff for the Buffalo Bills legitimately saved DeMar's life. And the quickness and the wherewithal to understand that he needed CPR the moment they hit the field. It's a scary thing that something that free can happen. Our thoughts still go out with T. Higgins, who's still getting a lot of backlash from idiots on Twitter and all that other crap. That's not his fault. That's a normal thing. And hearing players saying that it's his fault is even more dumb. But things like that.
Players are saying that too.
Yeah, Bart.
Former players, but
former players. And it was like Bart Scott, who himself has hit players harder and made it, and to give somebody a fluke injury like that, and then to bust the guy's chops for it is unprofessional, all uncalled for, and definitely it's not called for. So, but everybody is it happens.
Yeah, Chris, I know we talked last time on Fort Road, but go ahead and give your thoughts on everything.
No, I'm glad he's doing a lot better. That was probably one of the scariest moments I've seen on a football field watching it on TV. But I've seen injuries, where they brought the ambulance or stuff like that. But that was pretty scary to watch. Glad he's doing a lot better. I know it's going to be a long road, but he seems to be making a fast recovery. To many doctors' surprises, I guess. But I think the one big message to former players or anybody in the media is, or just in general, just be careful what you speak, what you say. Think about what you're going to say. Don't just make, don't lash out in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And props again, like Tim said, to the Buffalo staff, the assistant strength coach, I think it was, or something that
Yeah.
rushed out and started administering CPR. Props to him. Props to the medical staff. That's all. And to the fans, and former players that are making this about T. Higgins and saying it's his fault. Stop it. It's a fluke hit. People sending death threats to T. Higgins. Stop. I mean, it makes no sense. And then I saw a couple posts which really lit a fire under me. This was not staged. A lot of people are saying that the NFL was staging this. Look how fast the ambulance got on the field and
There's some
carted
things that's not.
Yeah.
But
If the NFL wanted to stage stuff, this would not be the one thing they would stage. So, but moving on. So prayers are still going out to Higgins, to Higgins and DeMar.
yeah.
I know Higgins is probably feeling it too. So, guys, Tim, you're the only team not in the playoffs right now. We're not going to focus too much on our picks this week, but and I know last week we said we were going to do an awards show, but with schedule conflicts, we're going to push it off until next week. So, Tim, let's get what do you think the Colts need to do this offseason? I know we might touch on this a little bit later, but,
I truthfully think they need to think long and hard about a quarterback. I know they've got Ellinger.
Derek Carr.
And we don't need Derek. No. I like Derek Carr, but I think we need somebody long term. I think they draft somebody, especially if we're going to be drafting in the top, between the top three and the third and fifth pick, maybe the sixth pick. There's quarterbacks. There's franchise quarterbacks in this draft coming up. I think
Brady.
We need to look in that direction. Not Brady. Come on, man. What is this? Oh boy, you've got me today. I don't understand you today. We also need to we need to get a coach. We need to get a coach, and yeah, I like Jeff Saturday, but I think we need to do our due diligence. I think we need to push hard for Harbaugh or Sean Payton, something like that. If not, take a flyer on Eric Bieniemy out of Kansas City. I think Bieniemy needs to really be looked at because what he does in the Kansas City offense would really be nice with a nice young quarterback. If it's Ellinger or somebody in that draft, but I think Bieniemy would be nice in Indy.
Okay. No, I definitely like that. Yeah, coach definitely might be your number one option this year.
Yeah.
Definitely get a franchise quarterback. We've seen a lot of teams, these journeyman quarterbacks, these older quarterbacks. If you're a quarterback away, you're probably that's where you want to go. But if you're a few players away, then you want to get a franchise quarterback. I mean, next week we'll get the Bears side of things when Dave jumps on because he could be looking at the first overall pick and what the Bears are going to do there. So, all right. So we were talking a little bit backstage. Playoff picture. There's a lot of things going on, especially on the AFC now. NFC, is kind of
I think there's two spots.
Yeah.
There's two spots.
Yeah.
Three teams.
There's some jockeying with seedings that can happen. So we'll run down the AFC quick. Kansas City, 13-3 has got the number one seed. I believe all they have to do is win, and technically they get the number one seed because of what happened Monday. Buffalo, 12-3. They got the number two seed. They win. They're still technically the number two seed. I don't know if they'll give them the number one because of what, being that game down. Bengals are the number three seed, need a win and a Buffalo's loss. And I think that's where the confusion is, second, third. So now we get to number 4, Jacksonville win, and they're the champs. They lose. Then they're going to hope New England, Miami, and Pittsburgh loses, and then they're in the playoffs. Chargers are in. Baltimore's in. I think just wins there will shuffle them around. New England has to hope Jacksonville wins. I think Miami to win or Miami to lose, Pittsburgh to lose, and they're in. And I think Miami and Pittsburgh both the same. The other 2 teams have to lose, and then they get in. Titans, the only team that's 7-9 that's looking at a playoff picture, need to win, and then they're the division champs. So on the NFC side, Pittsburgh or Philly needs to win, and they get the number 1 seed. Or if they lose, they need the Niners and Cowboys to lose. The Niners, to get the number 1 seed, need to win. Also, that would lock them up in the number 2 seed if the Eagles win. The Vikings need to win and the Niners to lose to move up to the number 2 seed, or else they're locked in at the number 3 seed. Tampa is already locked in at the 4 seed. I don't think nobody can overtake them. Cowboys, Chris, your Cowboys. If they win, Eagles lose, Niners lose, they are the number 1 seed. And if the Eagles win and the Niners lose and the Cowboys win, they're the number – or no, they can't be the number 2 seed. I'm sorry. They'll be the number 5 seed. But if the Niners win and the Cowboys win, the Eagles lose, they'll be the number 2 seed. So Seattle needs to win and a Packers loss, and they're in. Chris, you're crying. Or Timmy, looks like you're crying. Detroit needs the Seahawks to lose and them to win to get in. And the Packers, all they need to do is win and they're in. So that's the playoff picture as it sits as of right now. So we'll get into our games here. We're pretty much just going to touch base on all the games, but the games that mean a lot, we might break down a little bit more like we normally do. So today's game starts at 3:30 Central Time, so 4 o'clock out coast, 1 o'clock on the other coast. We got the Chiefs and the Raiders. Chiefs are at home, or I'm sorry, Chiefs are on the road versus the Raiders. 13-3 versus 6-10. Again, Chiefs win. They're the number 1 seed. So, Tim, who do you have in this game?
You're playing for the number 1 seed. You're playing the Raiders. Still a rivalry game at best at this one, but you're also looking at a backup quarterback starting for the Raiders. I still think the Kansas City Chiefs are going to lock up the number 1 spot.
Chris?
What am I hoping for?
What the Chiefs-Raiders game. What are you looking at?
I think the Chiefs will be dominant in that game. I mean, Raiders are kind of good, but I think Chiefs are going to.
Yeah, I think I think we're all unanimous. I think the Chiefs are gonna. I ain't gonna say steamroll because I can see the fourth quarter they start sitting some people if they're up pretty big. But the Raiders, they still want to showcase their Carr just in case there's trade expectations on the offseason, so they want to make sure they
Carr's not with the team right now.
Oh, that's right. Dang it, that's right. He got benched. I'm sorry. That's
it's
right.
Stidham, I think it is.
Yeah. So
it's Stidham that's.
So let's rewind. Chiefs are going to blow them out. So yeah, I forgot about the whole Carr situation. So yeah. All right. So the next game we've already kind of touched base on the playoff scenarios. Titans versus the Jags. Titans win, they're in. Jags win, they're in. So and then if the Jags lose, of course, need some things to happen. Jags are favored by 6.5. So, Chris, who would have thought at the beginning of the year we're talking Jags win and they're in? And who do you have in this game?
I'm hoping Jacksonville wins it. Tennessee's been in the playoffs, won the division several times. I think it's time for, a new face in there, so to speak. And I think Jacksonville can pull it off, and I think we wrote them off. Most people did.
Yeah, well, we'll get into our predictions beginning of the year in a little bit. So,
Mm-hmm.
Tim, who do you got in the Tennessee Jacksonville game?
I would have never told myself that Jacksonville was playing for a playoff spot, especially at the beginning of the year, and we had a certain other cast member say that the Jaguars were going to win the South, and I hate to say it, I'm picking the Jaguars to win the South.
Tim, you I think Chris, we kind of all spoke to kind of the same mentals. We don't want the other, colleague of ours or former colleague to be right, but I don't see any way that Jacksonville loses this game. I think we're looking at, Jacksonville taking the South. We would never have thought of this. I mean, we thought the Titans were the cream of the crop in that division. Colts, behind a little bit, but yeah. All right, so moving into the Sunday games, again, we're just going to kind of touch base on all the games, but we'll give a little prediction on the games that mean something. So we're going to start with the Vikings-Bears. The real thing that only matters is if the Vikings win, Niners lose, can move up. But the Bears, if they lose and Texans loses, they have I believe, the number 1 overall seed. So,
wow,
guys, Tim, what do you got in this game, and how good is this game going to be?
I don't think this game's going to be that good. Obviously, I don't, because you don't have Fields starting for the Bears.
Yep.
You have
Peterman, I think it is.
You have Peterman, yeah, and he's kind of, I don't know. He's he's a bigger question mark than the Box and Super Mario Brothers. I think the Vikings are going to show the Chicago Bears what the number 1 pick looks like. I honestly think that the Vikings can. The Vikings are going to hurt this team. Sorry, mess around, but the Bears don't really stand a chance in this game.
Yeah, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota. I mean, it's going to be a blowout.
For me, it's one of those games where I don't know which way to go, because I can see the Vikings winning. I can see the Vikings losing. Okay, granted, that's obvious. Duh, but this is one of those games where, how serious are the Vikings going to take it? There's talk that they weren't going to start their starters. Now they're starting their starters, which possibly I think could be some optimistic. Maybe they're only going to play them for the half and see how it goes. The Bears, I hate to use the word tank, but, there's possibilities, as professional athletes, they might do this. Peterman, I think his last start and only start, or one of his starts, he threw 5 interceptions first game in the first half with the Bills. So, I just don't know. I think I'm with Tim. I think this is just going to be one of those. It's going to be an ugly game either way, I think. So, but I got the Vikings in this game. So, Adam chiming in. I'm not feeling lucid today. The weather is horrible today. The Bears are starting Mr. Interception Peterman, so I'll take the Vikings. Wow, yeah, Adam, you're really not feeling well. Again, this is a game that you probably don't want to pick any time because the rivalries. But so let's move on. Chargers Broncos. Again, I don't think this game outside of seeding means nothing to me.
Chargers.
So, yeah, I'm going Chargers. Tim.
I'm going Chargers.
All right. Another game, the Buccaneers Falcons. You know what? I'm going to go the upset. I'll go Falcons in this game. Just they have nothing to play for, and the Bucs have nothing to play for. So, Chris, who do you have in that game?
I'll go Atlanta. I want Tampa Bay to lose.
All right, Tim.
And Tom Brady's still the quarterback of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I don't pick Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Yeah. And now here's a game. AFC matchup, division rivals. Patriots go to Buffalo. Again, Buffalo's favored by 7.5. A game that, Buffalo wins. They could be the number 1 seed. Everybody's watching the news. They know what's going on. Patriots win and they got to hope for, well, if they win, I think they're automatically in. So, Tim, who do you have in this game?
Well, this one, I think in our group chat that I said this is one of those games that needs to be played. That needs one of the team needs to win for the Steelers to be in, because I think you need the Buffalo Bills, the Jets,
Buffalo
the
needs to
Buffalo
win, and the Steelers need to win.
Jets,
Yeah.
and the Jets and the Dolphins need to lose. In order for my prediction to go that way, I need to take the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills are playing for DeMar. So I'm pretty much going to think that this is going to be a Buffalo Bills. It's not even going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be ugly.
As Jim Ross would say, this is going to be a slobber knocker, I think. Chris?
Yeah, it's going to be, but I think Buffalo can take this game.
Yeah, I think Buffalo Patriots are going to be officially eliminated. I think after today, Tim said, they're playing for DeMar. This game, I would not be surprised if there's a bunch of number 3s all over the field on the decals and stuff. So.
Or they did say that Buffalo will have decals.
Okay, good for them.
And on the 30-yard line, the 3 will be highlighted, bolded and all that. So yeah,
good. The next game doesn't mean nothing except for possibly a number 1 pick for the Texans or number 3 pick in Tim's case for the Colts. So got the Texans needed to lose to seal up the number 1 overall pick. Colts need to lose to get them possibly in the 3rd pick. Colts are favored by 2.5. Tim, what do you got?
Tie. It tied week 1. Why not week 18?
I know, right?
It just and I'm here to. I guess I'm here to break Mess Round's heart, but I got the Colts.
Uh-oh.
Chris?
Ooh. I'll go Colts.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to go Texans, and just for funnies and double down, I'm going to go with the lock for the Texans. So, to help Mr. Mess Around out. Even though I don't want the Bears to get any better, but I want to see Tim get that 3rd pick, kind of tease him. All right.
I don't think I've made my lock. I'll go Vikings as a lock.
Okay, Vikings as a lock. Yeah, we're like I said, we're not. I mean, there's only a few games that matter. So
right.
All right. So another game, a big playoff picture here. Oh no, because the Jets are eliminated. But
it would have been.
Play from spoilers. Jets visit the Dolphins. Dolphins need a win to keep the playoff hopes alive. They are favored by 3. Tua's not in. Bridgewater's not in. Chris, I heard you're quarterbacking the Dolphins today. So what do you got today?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I'll go with the Jets.
Oh, Jets going to play spoilers. All right, Tim?
Yep. In order for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get into the playoffs, we need the Jets. So give me the Jets.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all like a little
we like chaos.
Chaos. Thank you. I was trying to think of that word. Without Tua starting and even without Bridgewater, I know the Jets are the Jets, but I think the Jets are going to pull the upset on this one. If not, it's going to be a close game. The next game definitely means nothing. Panthers versus the Saints. What can we say about this one, Tim?
Sarge, I got your back, bud. It's the Panthers.
Yeah, Chris? You're on mute.
I'd like to see the Panthers win.
Yeah, I think the Panthers have surprised me ever since they made their moves and stuff. They came up and played. So hopefully the interim coach gets a contract and hopefully the team keeps improving. So I'll go Panthers in this one. Tim, here's your game. The Browns versus Steelers. Steelers need a win, a couple teams to lose. Browns aren't playing for nothing. So, Tim, who do you have in this one?
Well, it's nice to see that the Cleveland Browns decided to let Jadeveon Clowney go home. Exactly the same place that the Cleveland Browns will be next week. I've got the Steelers.
Did they tell him to go home?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. I saw there was controversy and stuff. But
that's not good.
Yeah, Chris?
Who's Cleveland?
Browns Steelers.
I'll go Steelers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Steelers too. With everything going on in Cleveland right now, Watson, maybe next year, but And then Clowney not wanting to play all but third down. I mean, might be injury related. I don't know. It sounds like there's a lot of things in the locker room. So let's go Steelers. Steelers are in. Chris, your division, the Giants versus the Eagles. Eagles win. They lock up the number 1 seed. Eagles lose. Your Cowboys have a chance. So, Chris, who do you have in this game?
I'm going Giants, but I know it's not going to happen. But I'll go Giants.
Tim?
They said in Dumb and Dumber, so you're telling me there's a chance. Well, Crispy, there is no chance. I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah,
I know there's no chance.
If Hurts wasn't playing, he's expected to start, so I got to go Eagles too. I mean, they're one of the teams.
Well, the thing is that the Giants aren't starting Saquon. They're not starting Daniel Jones. They're sitting a bunch of starters. So
they're playing their last year's roster. Okay.
Yeah, but they have Tyrod Taylor quarterback.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, it's the Eagles. Giants, I don't think the Giants can move up or down. I think they're locked at the 6th seed, I think. So next we got the Cardinals versus the Niners. Niners need a win. And the Eagles lost to lock up the number 1 seed. If not, they lock in the number 2. I don't think they could drop, or they could possibly drop to 3, I think. Chris, Niners or Cardinals?
I'll go Niners, and I think it's going to be Kingsbury's final game in Arizona, or at Arizona, I should say.
Yeah. Tim?
Yeah, I who would have figured that Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant, is going to take a team to the playoffs. I wouldn't have figured that. And the same former co-anchor, toe thingy, whatever you all called him, who picked the Jaguars, also picked that Brock Purdy was going to start this year. And that wasn't me.
Week 7.
But I picked him. I picked him for start to week 7. That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I've got the Niners, and I'll tell you, he's a general. He can definitely do some things on the football field, and he's definitely making it tough in the front office for that group.
Well, and the thing is a lot of people are saying, well, look at the offense he has. Yeah, so, I mean, look what he did in Iowa. I think that's where he came from. But, ever since they made the trade with McCaffrey, they put Purdy in because of injuries, they haven't lost a beat. I'm going Niners. Chris, you're probably right. Kingsbury's out. They made Dingle Murray out there for trade bait. So this is the last week, too, that we have a chance to see it because Samuel is playing, that McCaffrey and Samuel could hook up for a touchdown. I don't think it'll happen, but that was my prediction when they made the move. So, and the Niners are favored by 14.5. So, we know how this game's going to go. Next game, we got the Rams versus Seattle. Seattle needs a win, and a Lions win, and they secure the 7th seed. So, and the Rams, sorry, Super Bowl champs, no playoff picture for you. So, Chris, who do you have in this game?
I'll be going in a minute.
Who do you got in the Rams-Seattle game?
Yeah, I got Seattle.
Tim?
Yeah, I think that the revenge game for Russell Wilson isn't going to be a revenge game for Russell Wilson. I think Seattle's taking revenge on Russell Wilson, and I got Seattle.
Oh, okay. Well, Russell Wilson doesn't play for the Rams, so.
Oh, shoot. You're right. But still wouldn't be it wouldn't be a revenge game period then. Yeah. So I still got Seattle.
You know what? Just to make the chaos go even more, I got the Rams. Baker Mayfield's looked pretty decent in that offense. Geno Smith, most likely comeback player of the year for the NFL in Seattle. I know he wasn't injured, but he's had a comeback year. So, but I'm gonna go to the Rams. I think the Rams are gonna pull an upset today. Chris has stepped away for a second, but we'll talk about his team. We got the Cowboys at 12-4. Need a win. Need the Eagles loss. Need a Niners loss, and they are the number 1 seed. They go from 5-1. Outside of that, the best they could do is number 2 if the Niners lose and they win and the Eagles win. So, and they're playing the Commanders. And I don't think Heineke's starting. I could be wrong on that.
Heineke's starting.
Heinicke is there. I hope they keep him in there. So, Tim, until Chris gets back, who do you have in this game?
I like the Cowboys. I really do. And I think, isn't Dak Prescott up for possibly comeback player of the year because he was hurt last year?
He will most likely get comeback player of the year. I was thinking more of like career.
No, I like I like Geno Smith too. I think Geno Smith, if he's done so much, but yeah, I've got the Cowboys. I wish that the stars wouldn't align for the Cowboys, but they're gonna right there. Yeah.
No, I got the Cowboys too. As much as I kind of hope they lose, but the Commanders, up and coming team. I hope they stick with Heineke. But that defense for the Cowboys, if it's on, it is on. So, Chris, Cowboys.
Should we tell Chris that we all took the Commanders?
Yeah, we took the Commanders and the refs this week.
Yeah.
So, Chris, who do you have? Obviously,
Cowboys. But I think Washington's starting their rookie. Well, not rookie, but second.
Oh no, they're right. That's right. They are.
Okay.
I can't remember who it is.
I said I thought I heard that. I don't understand why Heineke's getting. If I'm Heineke and I've done what I did,
Indy needs Heineke.
Yep.
I'll take that right there.
Yep. No, I wouldn't give too much up for him, but I would go for Heineke.
It's I think your last name's Howell. But...
who cares? Gordon Howell.
I think it's Sam Howell. I think did he play at like Pittsburgh or something, or Miami or something like that?
I don't know. I don't know what Washington's thinking. I mean,
they're not.
They're getting rid of their coach, and
they're trying to get ready to sell the team like McMahon is trying to sell the WWE.
Exactly. And then we talked backstage. I think the game of the week is happening Sunday night. I'm glad it got flexed in there.
Yep.
Lions Packers. This game means the world. Pretty much the way people are making it sound. Lions win, Seattle loses, they're in the playoffs. Packers win, it doesn't matter what anybody else does. So it's a win and you're in kind of scenario for these two teams. And the Packers are favored by 4.5. So Chris, who do you have in this one?
Kind of like the Philly game. I want Detroit, but I know Green Bay is going to probably take it. But I want Detroit, so I'm picking Detroit.
Tim?
Yeah, as much as I already taken Seattle, they pretty much hurt the Lions' chances. And the Seattle's playing the Broncos this week. I'm taking the Lions, and I'm making it my lock.
All right. I'm going with the Lions too. I know, I took the Rams, so I have hope there. But I just want to see the Lions play spoiler. I mean, even if Seattle wins, let the Lions go. Let Rodgers go crying. I mean, Tim, I have many Packer fans in my family, and I know, you do too. But we'll see. But this game, I think a lot of eyes are going to be on this game, especially in the north here. So,
yeah.
With that being said, those are our picks this week.
Did we do the Bengals game?
Bengals Ravens?
Oh, Bengals Ravens. I'm sorry. I did overlook that game. Bengals Ravens, another game. Ravens need to win to stay in the playoff. Seeding wise, I think. This is the game for AFC, I think, with that whole coin flip.
This is the chaotic part of it.
The game that confuses everybody, I think, what happens. But we got the Ravens versus the Bengals. Bengals are favored by 9. Chris, who do you have in this game?
I got Cincinnati.
Okay. And honestly, I know he doesn't play for them, but I bet you they're playing for DeMar too. Everybody I think is playing for DeMar today, but I think the Bengals they're especially playing for Higgins. I got the Bengals in this game too. I think they're going to do it. Tim?
I've got the Bengals, and truthfully, I think T. Higgins goes off. I think he has a big day against the Ravens.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. So, with that being said, we covered all the games. Do what you want with them, and let's move on. So, Chris, let's move into our topics.
K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Chris, you got a little history lesson for us?
I don't really.
Oh,
a lot of stuff.
Cool.
But
I know. It's we kind of will shuffle things around. So
yeah.
Tim, why don't you do our prime five then while we, for that ad?
Well, it was nice to know that this is the week where the playoffs will get figured out, all set. But hey, I'm going to go off on the teams that missed the playoffs and the playoff droughts. And I had to take the Giants off the list because they clinched last week against my Colts, so I had to take them completely off the list. But number 5 is a team I think we all picked this week, the Atlanta Falcons. They've missed the playoffs for 4 straight years. Then I've got at number 4, I've got the Miami Dolphins, who have missed for 5 straight years. One team that we're hoping kind of loses their drought this year, the Detroit Lions have missed 5 straight years. I know you're thinking it's 2 because I thought it was longer too.
I thought it was 2014, but
no, it was 17, and 17 makes it 2022.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And then we've got the Denver Broncos, who aren't playing the Seattle Seahawks. They've missed now for 6 years. I think that was the last year that Peyton Manning was in the league.
Yep.
And then we've got the team that I think all of us seem to have picked too, was the New York Jets. They've missed the playoffs now for 11 years, and it's going to be 12 after this year.
Since what, 2010?
2010. Yeah. 2010 or 2011.
Oh, that's a decent prime 5. So, Chris, let's move into our second ad, please. C2C Rankum. You can catch us Tuesdays, 9 a.m. Central Time. We break down different categories and stuff like that. We've been having a little fun with it lately. This week we're doing games, TV, game shows, and stuff like that. So check us out. For me, I'll make this my big baller since ain't got much else going on. I'm going Vikings defense just because Peterman's starting. I think they're going to go off, and maybe that helps mess around and get the first overall pick. So I'll go to Vikings defense on that one. So, all right, I don't have any mess around segment today. That really, I mean, we could talk about the AFC. Ruling, to me, is confusing. I don't know if anybody's got a chalkboard or something that could write out all the scenarios. So let me see here.
Just win your games, and I think you're okay.
Yeah. So what ESPN has here, to go through it quick. If Buffalo 12-3 and Kansas City 12-3 both win or tie, the championship game will be held in the neutral site. So I guess everything bases on this week's games and if this happens in the championship game. Buffalo, Kansas City both lose and Baltimore wins or ties. Buffalo Chiefs game will be at a neutral site if they make the championship game. Buffalo, Kansas City both lose. Cincinnati wins. Buffalo or Bengals versus Kansas City will be in the neutral site. If the Ravens win Sunday over the Bengals in their match against Cincinnati in the AFC wildcard game, the site would be determined by a coin flip. So that's the short version of it. It just sounds like if Kansas City Buffalo meets in the championship game, we're going to get a neutral site, which I believe somebody said was Vegas.
So basically, what you're telling me is you need as another colleague would say, you need a college degree to figure this out instead of having okay that I can understand where the college degree comes in.
So
I heard that Indy was going to be one of the sites, but then Indy turned it down.
Yeah, I think
that was stupid.
Somebody said Vegas, but it's that one where what movie was it? Billy Madison, where they're doing the trivia thing, and the guy who's hosting it goes, "Everything you just said to me, whatever the saying was." That's kind of what this is. It's just like,
yeah.
I'm lost. It's probably plain and simple, but maybe the coin flip is what's throwing me off. I don't know. So, guys, back on August 14th,
My sister's birthday.
we made season predictions. So I know you guys have been waiting to kind of hear how they turned out because I'm guessing nobody wrote them down like I did.
No.
So I went back and watched that episode and wrote down our picks. So we'll break them down division by division, see where we're kind of sitting at on who did the right thing. So the AFC East. Currently, we got Buffalo, New England, Miami, and the Jets. Tim, you were probably the closest with the record. You had Bills at 15-2. So you got the Bills, Patriots, Jets, Dolphins. You had the Dolphins stinking it up at 3-14. How does that make you look now? No, it's all predictions. We're all just joking.
How does it make me feel? I feel like I've won the Oscar for what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, exactly. So, Dave, who's not here, mess around. If you're watching,
It's the police. Open up.
yeah. So, hold on a second, guys. Oh, it's all my son. All right. So, Dave, sorry about the interruption there. Oh, all right, cool. So, Dave had okay, just hold on. Dave had the Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. So, he had one correct, and he kind of nailed the record too on the Bills. He had them at 14-3. Chris, you had the Bills, the Patriots, the Dolphins, and the Jets. You nailed all five right.
Yep, all five.
And you had four.
Only four in the division. You named five.
Yeah. And you had the Bills at 14-3. I had the Patriots, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets. I got the final two teams right, but so that's how the AFC went for the East. In the North, we had Tim. You had the Bengals, or currently we got the Bengals, the Ravens, Pittsburgh, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Tim, you had the Bengals, the Browns, the Steelers, and the Ravens. Yep. So you got the Bengals right. The Browns, you had at 10-7. Again, this was August 14th. So Dave had the Bengals, the Browns, the Ravens, Steelers. So, he got the Bengals right. And, yeah. Chris, you had the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, and the Browns. And you had the Browns at 1-16. So, little struggle there. I had the Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns myself. So we're not looking too shabby. The AFC South, Tim's division. Currently, we got Jacksonville, Tennessee, Colts, and Houston. Now, again, Tennessee wins. Tim's right. But he had them at 15-2, the Titans. So he had the Titans, the Colts, the Jets, and the Jags, and the Texans. And granted, we all wrote off the Jacksonville at this time of the year. So
yeah,
they had the Titans, the Colts, the Jags, and the Texans. Chris had the Texans, the Colts, or Titans, the Colts, Texans, and Jags.
I was gonna say, I said Houston.
Yeah. And I had the Colts, the Titans, the Texans, and the Jags. So, yeah, we know how that one turns out for most of us. The AFC West, which at this time we all agreed this was going to be the toughest division in all of football, turned out to not be it. Currently, you got the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders, and Denver. Tim, you had the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Raiders. Dave had the Chiefs, Raiders, Chargers, Broncos. Chris, you had the Chiefs at 15-1. Broncos, Raiders, Chargers. And I had it at the toughest division, so I'm looking like I have a whole bunch of egg all over me because I had the Chargers at 12-16. The
12 and
Chiefs,
16.
Broncos,
12 and 16 in a 38 week.
12-6. I'm sorry, gosh, man, I'm not used to the Saturday stuff. So I had the Chargers at 12-6. I had the Chiefs, Broncos, and Raiders all tied at 11-6.
That would be an interesting schedule.
Yeah, so 12-5. I'm sorry because I can't do my math.
Yeah.
Right. But again, me and Tim use this website, NFL predictions, playoffs, something like that.
I use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. That's how I did mine.
Yeah, so I'm looking like the really fool in this division. Really got fooled because I had nothing go right for me in that division. So now we move into the NFC. Tim, currently we are sitting at Philly, Cowboys, Giants, and the Commanders. Tim had the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants. Chris, you had your Cowboys and Commanders both tying at 12-5. And then you had the Eagles and Giants. So, I mean, you're still looking good with the Cowboys possibly winning that. Dave had the Cowboys, Eagles, Giants, Commanders. And I had the Cowboys, Eagles, Commanders, Giants. So, not a good division there for us. I think we all kind of said the Eagles were up and coming, but we didn't think they were going to take this early of a flight.
Nope.
NFC South. Currently, we got the Bucks, the Saints, Panthers, Atlanta, which I think we all agree this was going to be one of those divisions. So Tim, Tim had the Bucks, the Saints, Panthers, Falcons. So he's got that division in lockdown. Chris, you had the Saints, the Bucks, the Panthers, and Falcons.
I was being hopeful.
Dave had the division in lockdown. He had Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Falcons. And I had the Bucks at 15-2, the Panthers at 13-4, and the Saints and Falcons. So, yeah. Now we go to the North. Currently, we got the Vikes, the Lions. I'm still kind of shook up by that one. The Packers and the Bears. So, Tim, you had the Packers, Vikings, Bears, Lions. Chris, you had the Packers, Bears, Vikings, Lions. Dave had the Bears with the homer pick, the Packers, Vikings, and Lions. And I had the Vikings, Packers, I had the Packers, Vikings, Bears all tying at 11-6, and then the Lions at 7-10.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So, and I do recall saying that this division was going to be Packers to lose, and they're coming on at the end of the year like I thought they were. The Vikings are kind of sliding, and I kind of said that. The Bears, I don't know what I was thinking at that time, but the Lions again, we all. Are rooting for them to make the playoffs. And then our final division, the West, Tim, currently 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals. 16-1. How's that looking?
Nope. Nope. Terribly.
Yeah. So, you had the Rams, the Niners, the Cardinals, and Seattle. Chris, you had the Rams, the Cardinals, Seattle, and the Niners.
Thanks, Rams.
Dave had the Rams, the Cardinals, the Niners, and Seahawks. And I'm with you guys, too. I had the Rams, the Cardinals, the Niners, and Seahawks. That division really just screwed everything up. I mean, granted, injury plays a part of it. So, again, and I think we made the comment, too, in that show. It's hard to do predictions, but that's why we do them. I mean, because
but it's also fun looking back at this point.
It's fun looking back to see how we did.
Yeah.
So with that being said, boys, are you guys impressed with your picks? Chris, how about you? What do you think?
I was all over the board, but it's fun making those picks before the season. You just go off of preseason, what you kind of saw and what you saw the previous season, and you're just trying to make a judgment.
Yep, exactly. Tim, how about you?
I don't think we were expecting the Niners, the Dolphins, the Jets, the Giants, the Lions, the Jaguars to do exactly what they did. Hey, but think about it. There's hope. a baseball player can go to the Hall of Fame batting 3 for 10.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. And the teams that Tim just listed, I mean, yeah, the Dolphins made some good moves. We thought maybe it'd take a couple years. The Eagles, they made some good moves. Thought it'd be a couple years. Lions, we thought were the Lions. The Niners, again, they have a good team, but they just couldn't decide on their quarterback. They make a move. They're 9 in a row, going for 10. I mean, this is how crazy the NFL has been, and it's fun. It's fun making these predictions and seeing, how well we do. But I mean,
here's the thing with San Francisco, though. If I'm them, I don't think this, but if I was them, I'd be like, we got 3 good quarterbacks because they probably see something in Garoppolo. I know they do.
No, they tried to move him in the offseason, though, too. So
right. I mean, but he was kind of disgruntled a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you have Lance and now Purdy.
Yeah. Lance, I don't think it's going to be nothing. I don't know. I mean, give him a fair chance. I'm not going to,
right.
You're an NFL quarterback. You're one of, 99 quarterbacks that get to play in the NFL if you keep 3 quarterbacks. So, somewhere around that number. I'm not gonna write off Lance yet. Maybe he just needs a different look. But they've always said if you got 3 quarterbacks, you don't got one. So
that's true.
But the Niners are setting themselves pretty because Garoppolo still has legs, and there's going to be a team that's going to make a move on Garoppolo, depending on the price. Lance, on the other hand, they might be stuck with him unless they get a decent deal. So, Tim, on your picks, what did you think?
Mine were terrible. I was all over the place. A blind man could play darts better than I did.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we're all over the board. I mean, but again, that just shows you. I mean, typical NFL year, we're probably nailing more of those ranking. Maybe not the record itself, but again, I mean, that NFL year was all over the place from
week
14 or on August 14th to now. I mean,
think about it. We keep saying it. Week 1, week 2, week 3, and the words we all started off with. This was a crazy. Last week was a crazy week, and it proved it. And it's and we're looking the playoffs right in the eye, and we're going to get crazier.
Yeah, I don't think there is a down. I don't think there is a down week of NFL.
No, I don't.
There might be a few games.
I think there was good games all. Especially if you're a Minnesota fan. There was 12 weeks or 11 weeks where we were just like, really? Oh, we ended up winning. Oh my God, we're going to the Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And, I mean,
you guys did the Mikowski years, the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah. Yeah, we played one good game. We won. We played 11 games where we probably should have lost. We ended up winning. And we got 4 losses where we just got smacked. So, but yeah, the playoffs are coming. So, Chris, let's go around. Final thoughts.
Thanks, everyone, for watching, tuning in. It's going to be an interesting final week with everything playing out, and enjoy the games.
Yeah, Tim?
Yeah, I think we've said it week in and week out. It's a week. It's week 18. It's going to be a crazy week. Playoffs are going to be decided. It's going to be filled after tomorrow night. Have fun, be safe while watching them, and keep watching us.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep watching. C2C, we got a lot of things coming. Oregon's Cougars football. J-Mac talked about it yesterday. July 11th, they're going to go and meet and greet the team. We'll have that live, I believe, Chris.
Yes,
some of it. But 2023, we're hoping to be better than last year. Hope we get more shows, retool some shows, bring some new host on. Just keep checking us out. Check myself and Tim out on Tuesday for C2C Rankum as break down our favorite games and TV shows and stuff like that. So with that being said, Chris, Tim, you guys have a good week and enjoy the football. See you next week.